Do you remember Kony 2012? It was this great viral storm that swelled up against a common enemy. There was some warlord in Africa named Kony, Joseph Kony maybe, and he was taking children hostage, turning them into child soldiers where they'd have to kill their own families. It was this horrible, horrible situation, and some graphic designer and marketing guy got together and made a bunch of really flashy posters and stickers, and they were on light posts and stop signs and shopping carts, and they had a viral YouTube video and Facebook, and it was going to be this great thing. And then it just sort of fell apart. Do you remember right after September 11th? Everywhere you went, there was an American flag hanging up, and there was phrases, "United we stand." Our government had these huge approval ratings, and we were united against a common enemy. Do you remember the war on drugs? When huge amounts of ad dollars went towards buying these ads. There was the one with the cracked egg where they said, "This is your brain." It was an egg, and then "This is your brain on drugs," and it cracked into a hot frying pan. And then you look around today, 20, 30 years later, and boy, we've got nothing but apathy towards drug use right now. It's wild, right? These huge moments where people from all over the world in diverse spectrums of politics and religion and class all come together united against the common enemy. I think a common enemy can be a really great way to come together. You look at our lives today. Everybody got on board with withdrawing from society, wearing face masks, washing your hands, making sure that we were buying from local businesses. A common enemy, COVID-19. And here we are a month and a half later. People are getting restless. See, a common enemy doesn't go away until it's either defeated or we're bored. And I think we've either defeated this or we're getting bored of it. A common enemy is not really that great of a rallying cry. It's really good for pulling people together immediately, but the moment you get people together, we've got to ask a bigger question. What happens when we either defeat this or when we're bored of it? The church should ask the same question. People come to church in these moments of crises in their lives. When they're about to lose their life, they've got this enemy of sin, a particular sin, an enemy of death, a lost one, or maybe potentially losing one's own life, or an enemy of the devil, some particular evil lurking in the background of life, draws people in. But why do people stay? 1 Peter chapter 3, I think, answers this question for us, and it harkens back to Genesis chapter 1. Let's see if you can hear it. 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 and 9. And he points out a common enemy and maybe something greater. Peter says, finally, and the word there is telos, meaning like telescope, look far away. Finally, look to the end of this thing. What's your goal? Finally, all of you have unity of heart and mind. Finally, all of you have unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind. Do not repay evil for evil or reviling for reviling, but on the contrary, bless. For to this you were called, that you may obtain a blessing. Peter points out that a common enemy, a common evil, can be a way to get things done. But he says something greater there. Bless. Remember that in Genesis chapter 1? When God creates man and woman, and he blessed them. He said, be fruitful and multiply. Be a blessing. Church, the reason why God has called us together is not just to defeat sin, death, and devil. Christ has already done those things. The reason why we are together is for a common purpose: brotherly love, being tender-hearted, showing sympathy, having humble minds. As we look around at our world right now, there is an enemy that is starting to dissolve, and society will dissolve along with it unless we find a common purpose. I know what our purpose is at Concordia. It's to love the Lord our God beyond all things, and then love our neighbors as ourselves. It's to have humble minds, sympathy, and love for one another. Our purpose is to be a blessing. So I'd be curious, in the comments down below, or whatever you're doing, wherever you go, ask this question: what is our purpose in your jobs, in your households, in your families? What is your purpose as this thing starts to fall apart, as the common enemy starts to move away? What is your purpose? I'd love to know. If you don't have a purpose, I'd love to share our purpose, God's purpose for you. God has a plan for you, a telos, an end goal, and it is very good. Will you join us in it? May the Lord bless you. I hope to see you very soon.